this job fair. That means it's time to go back to supporting and learning about the business babes. And boy, do we have a show for you today. Well, I'm not going to steal any of her thunder. Take it away, Lisa.
Thank you, the remarkable Ron, my producer, and welcome to Richmond Business Babes here on WRWK 93.9 FM, The Work, where you will get your weekly dose of celebrating successful women all over the RVA, women who are making money doing what they love, loving what they do, owning and operating their own small businesses. And this is our swan song of the summer show. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus, but summer is not over yet. It officially ends on Sunday, September 22nd, this Sunday. So we are entitling this show Endless Summer, Endless Opportunities. And it's all about having fun in the sun. And our first guest is Jennifer Clements. She is the owner of Pla-Mor Pools, and she will be coming on in just a minute. Yes, I know. I'm just talking about other guests as well. and then at the bottom of the hour, we're going to meet Tracy Marcus. She is founder and designer of Tracy Marcus Designs, which features luxurious bathing suit cover-ups. And at the bottom of the hour, joining Tracy will be Rebecca Estrella. She is co-founder of Beached Bum Life Towels and Accessories. So it's an endless summer here on Richmond Business Babes. And September, well, you know what? It's still summer until Sunday, September 22nd.
That's right.
And so before we bring on Jennifer Clements, owner of Pla-Mor Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs, I just want to go over some statistics that I found in a very interesting article in the Wall Street Journal on July 19th of this year. And it was talking about, pools and the pool industry. And it talked about the average price of a pool, which is averaging, well, this was in 2022, so this is 2 years old, obviously, but $66,500 for an in-ground residential swimming pool. That's your sort of your industry average. And those buyers, according to this article, who pay $90,000 to $100,000 or more, are at the upper end of the market, and it's still a very strong market. And what I find interesting is that yesterday the Federal Reserve cut their interest rate 0.5 percentage point. So there's a lot of pundits out there who are saying that that's going to spur buying and home improvements and all of that, right, which is always good news in the construction and home improvement industry. So with that being said, I would like to welcome our first guest, Jennifer Clements, owner of Pla-Mor Pools and Spas and Hot Tubs. But before I do, let me tell you a little bit about her. She was recently featured in the Spa Retailer magazine back last summer. And not only that, she was sought out, her company was sought out to be the Washington Commanders football team, formerly the Washington Redskins. They sought out Pla-Mor Pools and Spas and Hot Tubs to be the official hot tub provider of the Washington Commanders. So kudos to Jennifer Clements, and welcome to Richmond Business Babes. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for reaching out and giving me the opportunity to participate.
Yes, I am very happy to have you on. And I found you through the pool and spa and hot tub industry association that you're very involved with. And one of the gals there said, in the Richmond area, it's Jennifer Clements you want to speak to. So it's still an endless summer. We're still officially in summer. So we can talk all about the pool industry. So walk us down your career path. You married you jumped in with both feet into this into this company. You married into it, and now you're the key person there. So walk us down that career path.
So I tell folks that I kind of got lassoed and dragged in because my mother-in-law, the night she met me, she used to always tell folks that she knew that I was the one, her youngest son. So about 2 weeks after she met me, she brought me on as her assistant. And as they say, the rest is history. And now my husband and I are the owners, and we have our 4 sons who all work for us, and third generation.
Yes,
so,
and that's highly unusual in small businesses these days to go to the third generation. So that's fantastic. And what I find interesting, Jennifer Clements of Pla-Mor Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs, is that you started out as a construction company that was just installing pools, but then you kind of morphed into the sale of chemicals, which is ongoing revenue, obviously, and then into retail and service. So talk about that, because I think now are you no longer installing pools and just doing sort of the back end of everything there?
Well, something that you touched on a little earlier was one of the catalysts. You know, our economy ebbs and flows.
Mm-hmm.
And it became very obvious that as more family members, or as our families grew, we needed to be a little bit more multifaceted so that we had more stability.
Yeah.
Because there are times where construction of new pools is not as robust as it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, during COVID, oh gosh, it was a 2 to 3 year waiting period
Mm-hmm.
for in-ground pools, even above ground pools and hot tubs.
Uh-huh.
Something I never thought that I would see in my lifetime.
Wow.
So we saw that there was we had been building pools for 2 decades, and all of those consumers needed ongoing support
Mm-hmm.
and products for their pools. And my husband and I were having kids, and we saw retail as a great opportunity for us to add on to the business and create growth.
Right. And when you say retail, be more specific, please.
So we sell all the different product lines, you know, the safe product lines, you know, not the gimmick product lines, but we sell EPA approved sanitizing products for pools. We sell tubs. We sell above ground pools. We sell kits for, we actually have had through the years customers that would come and buy whole pool kits themselves and even install the pool themselves.
Oh.
So we do a lot of renovation of existing.
I was going to ask you about that. Yes, renovation. Let's talk about your product line, so to speak. So if you look at the existing products and services that you have, would you say that the sale of the pool encompasses more than 50%, but then all the other areas that you're referring to, such as the maintenance, the renovation, all of that, is the other 50%, or is it more 80-20, or how would you break that out?
It's going to depend on what type of a product that they purchased.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of fun but expensive toys and gadgets that you can add on at the beginning that automate the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, we always aim for long-term relationship. We don't ever want to be the company that just is trying to just make that sale and then not support the customer because they are going to have ongoing equipment needs and what have you. So I think a lot of times it's probably 60-40. I think that's probably a pretty accurate ratio.
So who is your typical customer, and what do they, because in this Wall Street Journal article, they said, and this is, statistics nationwide, right? So the average, and this was for 2022 at the peak, right? When COVID was in full bloom and you said there was a wait list and all of that, 66,500 for an average residential in-ground pool. Does that kind of compare with the Richmond market or what it was in 2022, would you say?
I think that is probably a more accurate representation of pricing in states like Arizona and Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Richmond market, it's just not as pools aren't as plentiful as they are in Arizona, California, and Florida. Mm-hmm. So the pricing's higher in our market.
So there's less of a supply. So so would your average purchase be about 75,000 or somewhere in that area?
Again, it's going to depend. It's really going to depend. We have customers that come in and they might buy a $10,000 to $15,000 above ground pool, and then other customers that might buy they're in the market for a $100,000 pool.
Right. And do you find that you have repeat business where if it's, say it's a younger family with maybe less discretionary income who buys that, $10,000 above ground pool, but then years down the road, they may move, they may come back to you and say, hey, we're ready for an in-ground pool?
We have a lot of that. And it's interesting because it even starts with what I refer to as the Walmart throwaway pools, the inflatable pools.
I won one of those once. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And the customers come, they come in and they need help with chemicals because, it's such an insufficient filtration system, but they love having water in their backyard. And so they graduate up to a real above ground, and then years down the road, they want an in-ground.
Yeah. I think one of the there's nothing that can compare with an in-ground pool, obviously, but one way to kind of give it that feel is if your home happens to be on a sloped lot, and so by the time your deck stretches out to the above ground pool, it almost feels like it's in ground because you're still on that same level. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I've been to a couple of houses like that, it was kind of like it almost gave you the feel of it, but it still was really above ground.
Yes, we've done some beautiful pools like that where they are part in the ground and part out of the ground. And what character it creates, and because you can do the options for hardscaping in the backyard are just endless. Mm-hmm.
And if you've just tuned in, I'm talking to Jennifer Clements, owner along with her husband of Pla-Mor, and it's pools, spas, and hot tubs. Is that what it is? Pla-Mor Pools, spas, and hot tubs.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Pla-Mor Pools is technically our name, but we sell spas and hot tubs.
And what percentage of your business? I mean, do a lot of people start out, going from like you said, a Walmart pool to a spa or a hot tub, let's say, and then they like that so much they, come back and say, now we're ready for an in-ground pool?
I think it tends to trend more the other way. They have a pool, love the pool, miss the pool during the cold weather, so they add on a hot tub.
Okay. So if the average price of a pool in Richmond is maybe, you said around 75 to 80,000, just in general?
Yeah.
Yeah. Around there. So what is the average price of a hot tub? fully installed?
We have a variety of options. We have very, budget-minded options that are still great quality that you can get for 5, 6, 7,000, and all the way up to 20 to 27,000 for some really amazing. Am I allowed to say brands?
Sure, go ahead.
Like our Bullfrog hot tubs, they're the cream of the crop, and they're beautiful. The functionality is amazing, features, benefits, and so they're going to be a much higher price point.
Mm-hmm. So now you, as we said, you jumped in with both feet when you got married, and became the face of the family business. And how long have you been married? Because I know you have adult sons who are working in the business. So
it'll be 39 years in November.
Oh, well, congratulations. That's wonderful. So you must have seen a lot of changes in the industry, and especially that really big spike when COVID hit and there was a backlog. I would imagine that at that point, you really didn't need to market very much, due to supply and demand. But now that things have, toned down a little bit, cooled off a little bit, which again may heat up due to the interest rates being cut by the Fed. But now that things are, not what they were 2 or 3 years ago at the peak of COVID, how do you market your company? Are you primarily marketing, you have consumers, but do you also do business to business? And then sort of as a follow-up to that, do you also have other businesses that you refer your existing customers to, like maybe maintenance or hardscaping, or do you do that as well?
So for marketing, we, obviously we have our website, and our Google AdWords campaign is very robust. We actually have multiple campaigns, and we work with an industry-based company that helps to maintain that. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things that I have brought to the table with our company is networking. I love to network. I am so passionate about networking. So we have other pool companies in the area that we work with. We will refer folks to other companies if we know they specialize in something, and they do the same thing with us. Uh-huh. And then we try to keep a healthy list of what I would refer to as approved vendors, like whether it's an electrician or a plumber or a concrete company that we feel confident is going to take care of a customer the way we want them to be handled. So, but networking is huge. We even work with a bunch of different realtors.
Oh.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, again, in this Wall Street Journal article that I was reading a few moments ago, it cited several realtors. And again, this was a national article, so none of it was particular to Richmond. But 2 of the realtors that they cited in this article said that pre-COVID, when someone was shopping for a home and the home had a pool, it wasn't particularly a selling point, but tides have turned and now, it is. So, because I remember years ago, the realtors were like, it's very hard to sell a home with a pool. You've eliminated a certain percentage of your market right off the bat. But both these realtors, and they were both in different states, said that that is becoming so much more desirable. So it's interesting that you are talking about networking with realtors. Obviously, you're doing something right, Jennifer Clements of Pla-Mor Pools, because you got the Washington Commanders. I want to say Redskins, but I know I can't say Washington Redskins. So you've got the Washington. How did that all happen? To be you're their hot tub. Let's see, you're their official hot tub provider, Pla-Mor Pools.
So that's kind of a funny story, and technically you can still refer to them as the Redskins because our contract with them was when they were the Redskins.
Okay.
So I was sitting at my desk one day and I had an email pop in, and when I opened it and read the email, I deleted it because I thought it was spam.
Yeah.
And then I sat and I thought for a minute, and I'm like, there was some really specific information in that. So I went and I pulled it back out of my deleted file, reread it, and called the phone number. And sure enough, it was someone from Richmond
mm-hmm.
who worked for the Redskins, and he was tasked with bringing in certain folks, mm-hmm. certain companies to partner with the Redskins,
mm-hmm.
and he knew our name, so he reached out to us. And it was, I have to tell you, in all the years of doing business, it was one of the most fun ventures that I ever participated in.
I'm sure it was. That's great. Well, and I know that you're, really good in industry-wise networking, obviously, because of you were referred to me from the Pool and Hot Tub Association gal that I reached out to. So networking is, and wouldn't you say that that's important for any businesswoman or man, just in general, who is a business owner? I mean, it sounds like you place a high priority on that.
I think, honestly, for me, it is probably the single most important type of research that I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
It has opened the doors, led me down so many rabbit trails that wound up, depositing me at a profitable venture.
Uh-huh.
So, yes.
And I think a lot of people shy away from networking because a lot of people just feel like, well, I'm not an extrovert, or I don't know what to say, to start the whole networking process. But I found it to be fun. I wish I could dedicate more time to it. Ron and I might even go to that Metro Leadership event on September 25th. Remember I sent you that email, Ron? You forgot about it. I'm going to remind him after the show, but that's really fun. That's for nonprofits, which of course, WRWK 93.9 FM that you're listening to. If you've just tuned in, we are a nonprofit. So that's fun networking too. But I think a lot of people shy away from it. What advice would you give Jennifer Clements of Pla-Mor Pools for someone who is maybe new to the business world and knows that she should be networking more, but kind of just doesn't really know how or where to begin? What advice would you give them?
Well, if they go to events that are held by, their industry, we have trade shows, we have vendors that we work with, and just sitting down and talking with sales reps, asking them questions, asking them who they think the key players are. Mm-hmm. Maybe not, obviously in the same market, but getting to events, introducing yourself to those people. Mm-hmm. And you'd be amazed. People love to tell stories about themselves. They love to talk about their successes. Uh-huh. And if they know that you are not a competitor, they're going to be so open.
Yeah.
One of the best decisions that we made was to join a buying group. It's a national buying group. Uh-huh. But each of our members has a protected territory. So when we go to the events with the buying group, it is an open forum for us to share information.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, industry events, whatever, wherever your field of play is, just get in there elbow to elbow and just meet people.
Yeah. I enjoy it myself. Years ago, I was a member of, and I don't even know if this exists anymore. I think it's called BNI, Business Network International. And you would go to meetings, I guess, on a weekly basis. And it was people who you'd have, one in each field. Like you'd have one person such as yourself who was in the pool industry. And then you might have one realtor and one banker and one marketing person. And so it was not competitive within an industry, but each person at the meeting would seek out opportunities either to help their fellow members or to seek their help. And I thought that was really interesting. And I remember it was run by a man named James Roman, and he had told a story where he was shy and he was at an event and he wanted to kind of break the ice with people but didn't know how. So he said that what he did was he stood at the door as people were walking in, even before they actually registered for whatever the event was, and he just said, "Hi, I'm Jim Roman," and shook their hand. And what's your name? Oh, why are you here? Oh, okay. Well, there's a registration. He was like an unofficial, greeter. And it really worked well for him. I always remember that. I just thought, well, that was pretty clever. But, people might be just as nervous as the other person, right? Coming in and not knowing anybody. So that's always nice to do something like that. But yeah, so many of the women business owners that I interview do talk about the importance of networking. So let's talk a little bit more, because we're just about out of time here, about what you have as far as your plans for the next 2 to 3 years with Pla-Mor Pools. You're based in Mechanicsville, correct?
Yes, we are. We have a location in Mechanicsville and also one up in Ashland.
Okay. And are you pretty much just in the Richmond metro area, or do you go into Tidewater, or there's too much competition there, or out to the river? Where or are you planning to expand, or what are you looking forward to in the next 2 to 3 years as far as the company's plans?
So we take care of Central Virginia, but we also go all up into Northern Neck because there's been such a need there over the last few years. Some pool companies have either gone out of business or just discontinued certain services. So as for goals and plans, we are in what I would refer to as a fine-tuning process. As I said, all 4 of our boys work for us, and my husband is 66 and wants to, his goal is that in the next couple of years, he will be able to fully exit from the business. And, but we have committed to our sons and our staff that we won't do that until they're ready. And with COVID and COVID was just like in trying to manage insanity, shortages, demand, not enough people. And so we feel like, we're in that post-COVID recovery era, but everything that we had planned to do back then, we're kind of running behind. So we're working on a new point of sale program. We're looking at a new
and when you
CRM,
say a new point of sale program, tell us what specifically.
Oh, I lost you. Can you repeat?
Oh, yeah, no, if you could give us more details. So you said a new point of sale program.
Yeah, so we're looking at a new industry specific software, but we're also considering NetSuite. But we have fallen prey to programs that were not as robust. You know, the promise was there, but the functionality wound up not being there, or the functionality was just so limited that instead of being able to use one program, we wound up having to merge a couple. So they're creating redundancy and just time wasting. So we're really trying to take the time to make a slow move over into whatever's going to be easier for everybody, so that I can step back and go part-time, but still support our sons when they need my help.
When they need networking.
Yes.
Well, and tell me again your husband's name, Mr. Clements.
My husband's name is Kenny.
Kenny. Okay. So it sounds to me like you're the front-facing person of the business, as you know, we said earlier, and then he's more of the back of the house, sort of coordinating construction and service. And is that how you divide your responsibilities?
Yes, I of all the hats that I wear, so I'm technically the CFO, but I think the hat that that most resonates with my job description is Director of Business Development. So, and my husband is everything technical, all of the skills and the new staff on, you know, on that service side, that is his forte. He, man, you get on the phone if you have a problem with your pool or you're working on a project. You sit and you talk with him, and you know this man has been doing it for 50 years. But he's not comfortable getting up and sharing that kind of information at a podium.
Right.
Whereas I don't mind that.
Right.
It's I'm very comfortable with that.
That's good.
So
That's good.
and our sons, we have an even split. Three of my sons really love networking, and then one of my sons is he's super comfortable behind the scenes, just plowing in and
following in his dad's footprints.
Oh, I lost you again. I'm sorry.
No problem. I said following in his dad's footprints, it sounds like.
Yes, yeah. They definitely got both of us. You know, they watched, they learned, and now they're doing both. They have that technical acuity and ability, but they're not uncomfortable talking with folks and asking questions and putting themselves out there to get information, so we can follow trends and stay ahead and be at the top of our game.
Well, that sounds like a great plan. And Jennifer Clements of Pla-Mor Pools, two final questions for you. First of all, what advice, after a 39-year career, what advice would you give to an up-and-coming woman business owner who's just starting out? We know you like networking, but if you look back over your career, was there something that was a real aha moment for you where you said, that's how it has to be? Or on the flip side, wow, I'll never make that mistake again. You know, either way, is there something that comes to mind?
So my best advice is I had a father who owned his own business, and he was in the specialty paper business. He was a phenomenal businessman. He was my resource, and I learned to pick his brain. And he was willing to teach me how to run a business. If you don't, if someone does not have that kind of an influence in their life, like I had with my dad, find it. Find someone in
Find
the
a
industry
mentor.
who's been in their, whatever industry, they've been there for a while and they're successful, and ask if you can take them to lunch. Build a relationship there, because you need counsel from people who are experienced and can help give advice. People who will have your best interest at heart.
That's great advice. And my final question to you is, when you go on vacation with your family and you're at a resort and you go and enter the resort, is the first thing that you're checking out the pool and the spa and the hot tub? And what do you look for? And like, I was just picturing that, I bet when she goes somewhere, Hilton Head or wherever she goes, she's like, I like how they did this, but this installation is all wrong for this landscape. Do you do that?
So I actually have a picture that I was taken at a resort in Mexico.
Oh.
And the technician was poolside testing water. And I just happened to be wearing one of my company t-shirts that day because it was really comfortable. But I am peeking over, we staged the photo, I'm peeking over his shoulder, looking at the water test results. So
I can't blame you for that.
I'll be really honest.
Yeah.
I'll be really honest. I tend to not go in community water.
Okay.
Because I know the statistics.
Okay. Well, that's good advice as well. Well, Jennifer Clements of Pla-Mor Pools, thank you so much for coming on Richmond Business Babes, and much success going forward to you and your family.
Thank you very much.
All right. Take care. All right. Well, that was part one, our first guest of our show, Endless Summer, Endless Opportunities. And that was Jennifer Clements, co-owner, along with her husband, of Pla-Mor Pools. And Ron, I've been seeing that Tracy Marcus has been trying to get in touch with us. So I think you have her phone number there. So maybe you can get her on our phone here, Ron.
She can't get through.
Yeah, I guess just the one line. So are you able to call her on?
I had trouble with the mail, so possibly she had probably get
Yeah,
her.
because she's been calling me on my phone.
Oh, has she?
So
Okay,
yeah,
she's
so
been calling.
can you call her? Do you see her phone number there? I can circle it for you if you like.
No, let me see, because both of them got the link.
Okay,
Now,
and
one of them
then
is actually, now Beach Bum is already here.
okay, so Rebecca Estrella is on the line.
Rebecca,
Okay.
I can call the other one, unless
Okay.
they get their link too.
Okay, yeah, no, if you want to call Tracy, because she's been calling
But you
me.
don't think she's got her link?
I don't know, but this is her phone number right
No, I
here.
should have phone
Okay, yeah, if you could call her, that'd be great.
because I just sent the link a moment ago.
Okay, well, I don't know if she's been calling me.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I know. Hey, Rebecca Estrella, welcome to Richmond Business Babes. You are the co-founder of Beach Bum Life Towels and Accessories and a return guest. So let me give you a proper introduction and tell our listeners here on Richmond Business Babes all about you. So I actually met Rebecca in the Florida Keys this April when she was there promoting her Beach Bum Life Towels and Accessories. And what I found so interesting is she patented the concept of the secret zipper pocket. And we got into a conversation, and then I reached out to her and I had her on our show in May. So now, since we're doing Endless Summer, Endless Opportunities, we've got
I sent you a link.
Rebecca Estrella back. Welcome to Richmond Business Babes.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I appreciate the return visit.
Yes, we're so happy to have you. And I think we might have Tracy on the other line. Is Tracy, are you there? Okay, great. Hi. So let me give you a proper introduction as well, because this is the show of Endless Summers, Endless Opportunities. We've also got Tracy Marcus of Tracy Marcus Designs, who just recently, in March of this year, launched her luxurious white bathing suit cover-up design. design cover-ups, and she is going full blast with that, having so much success in Miami and elsewhere. And Tracy is also a former guest on our show. So do you ladies want to say hi to each other? Because you're in the biz together, sort of.
Hello. I love it. I love an endless summer. So congratulations.
Hi, Tracy.
Okay, we have a lot to catch up on because I felt like our last show was a cliffhanger. Because where we left off, Tracy, was you were going to do the Miami fashion show and the Richmond bridal show. And then Rebecca, you had so many other things going on with your product line, Beach Bum Life. So before we get into all of that, Tracy, walk us down your career path. Tell the audience, in case they didn't hear the other show, all about your design of the swimsuit cover-up.
Sure. I was in investment banking. I was a bond salesman for 25 years, and on a business trip, I purchased a white lace cover-up that I loved and received hundreds of compliments on it over the years and could never find anything else like it. And so the company actually started in 2013, but it took me 10 years to get it to the spot where I actually had product ready to launch, which was this March. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I know that you're working with a, for lack of a better word, seamstress or tailor here in the Richmond area. And what you had told us on the previous show was it took many years of research to find the right fabric and knit and all of that. So I admire that greatly. And so now we're going to switch gears here to Rebecca Estrella of Beach Bum Life. Walk us down your career path, and then we'll put it all together.
Well, my career started as a graphic designer many, many years ago, and then a print broker. And, I'm in the printing industry and design industry, which I still do. But during a certain time during COVID, I gave up work and everything to care for my mom. And along with my brother, we moved in to take care of her. And this is where this is where our concept came for Beach Bum Life, because we're both beach lovers. I have 8 siblings, but me and my particular brother, Raymond, is my partner. We just are very similar in many ways. And we just came up with this concept while we were our mom's caretakers during COVID. And then it just blossomed. We just started this idea with our beach towels that have a hidden pocket on the back. They're sand resistant. They're fast dry. And we did our online store. I'm fortunate that I'm a graphic designer. So I design all our products, all our towels. They all have unique designs, and I create them all. And we're very fortunate that we don't have to outsource that because I can do all our design work. And we built our online store, and we started that way. And then we started the farmers markets in the Florida Keys. And we started in slow season at the end of the season, and it was amazing. We sold out in like the month and a half or 2 that I was there. Nothing that we did in the whole year, and once we were in the Keys, we just sold out. We started getting more online sales from all the tourists and everything. So it's been good. It's been good. It's exciting to see how we're going to do this year, because we're starting at the beginning of the season. So versus the end. So I'm very excited to see how what's going to happen there.
Florida, I guess for Florida, the beginning of the season is it Christmas time?
It really starts in January, but all the markets really start opening up in November. They're all closed except for one market. So I've just been doing one market for a little while now because it's slow season for the markets. But I did move to the Keys, and I'm here. And but all the markets are starting in November. So I'm very excited to get started again and see how it blossoms. This is the real test.
And I know it's going to be great. Yeah. And as I was going over my notes, ladies, there was something that really bothered me, Rebecca, and I don't even know if I should bring this up on air, but I said, well, if it's a secret zippered pocket, then everybody's going to know, and then it's not a secret anymore. So do you know what I mean?
Well, not everybody knows. Not everybody knows our brand and our product. So, you might have one person with the towel on the beach, and nobody else does. Who knows? This is all over, So, nobody knows. It's hidden. I get people going to my booth and they're like, where's the hidden pocket? I go, it's hidden. They can't even tell. And I have my towels all around me hanging up and they can't tell. So it's hidden. People don't know.
Could switch it like different corners sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Make it wrong. No, I know. I didn't want the secret to be out because I was like, well, the secret, when we're talking about it, it's no longer a secret. But okay. As long as nobody knows,
If
I'll
somebody's looking for something to grab, they'll snatch her purse. They'll snatch this. They'll snatch. They're going to pick up a towel, undo it, check that. They're not going to do that.
You're right. Okay, I feel better about that. Okay. So I just feel like the other show was sort of a cliffhanger because where we left off with you, Tracy Marcus, is going to the Miami fashion show. How did that go?
It was really better than I could have ever imagined. It was, the media, photographers, the videographers, the influencers, the models. I mean, it was just an amazing experience. Had my daughter and a friend of hers were my assistants this summer, and they did an unbelievable job. And we went down to Miami, really, all learning together, not knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
And we actually, we were able to showcase 16 of my pieces. And we chose the models when we got down there, and it was just really an amazing weekend of meeting other designers, and it just was, the content that we received from it, the feedback that we received from it was amazing. We had a really great write-up in Miami Living Magazine, and they only wrote about 5 designers, and so I was really happy about
wonderful.
that.
And now, did you see a shift in sales after that, or orders?
You know what? We definitely did. Yes. It was really amazing. There is no one else that's doing what I'm doing that has an all white swim cover up collection. So yeah, it definitely caught the eye of a lot of people. So it was really nice.
That's
it was
wonderful.
A great thing to do just after launching.
And yes. And how did you know to do that? Did you have a mentor who advised you, or you just started doing your own research and knew?
Yeah, I just started doing my own research, and it was just, there's a very large trade show down there. Miami Swim Week really is all encompassing. It's, a lot of different fashion shows going on, different events during the week, long weekend, and they also have a large trade show down there as well. So I knew that there were all of these things going on, but I felt like the trade show piece I wasn't really ready for yet because no one knew who I was. And when you do those things, people make appointments with you. Well, no one knew who I was, so I figured the best way to go about showcasing the collection was to participate in a fashion show, and it was great.
That's good. Well, I'm glad that was a success for you. So are you having trouble fulfilling orders on the flip side? Like it was so much of a success that now you're behind or backlogged, or?
Well, I wouldn't say backlogged. I would just say that, I think now after the summer, I'm regrouping. I'm realizing that I really have only shown it to a very small footprint of people, which is really the Richmond community, the Virginia Beach community, and I went and showed it down in Miami. And this is the first time people are getting to know the collection. And so I had a lot of work to do in getting it out and just increasing the awareness. And I think what I realized is that people actually seeing it and touching it and trying it on is really, really huge. So I'm working on, hitting the road and getting it out there and having women be able to do that.
Okay. Well, that sounds very proactive and fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful, wonderful. And then now just switching gears here to you, Rebecca Estrella. You said that with your Beach Bum Life towels and accessories, and tell our listening audience, what the accessories are as well.
Well, we also have apparel, shirts, some caps. We now have snorkel gear, beach bum snorkel sets. We have lobsters. Season's huge here now. We have we make lobster bags. We have our cell phone koozie. Our cell phone koozie is a huge hit here. I wasn't expecting it to be such a hit, and it's a big hit. I've had to remake more and more and more, and they keep your phones 8 to 10 degrees cooler. So if you're a beach bum, or in your car or anywhere, your cell phone koozies overheats a lot, and when it's really hot down here, it gets to 100 degrees, 110, and it keeps your phone at least 8 to 10 degrees cooler if you're out on the boat, the water, whatever. So that helps it. That protects it. I get so many.
That is also patented.
Those are our 2 products that we patented, because it just became I sold those.
Looking back at the patent process, was that hard to do? How long did that take?
We hired somebody to do it for us, and it took some time, but we got it done, so yeah.
It's a 10 degree temperature drop is significant.
Yeah.
When
and
on the water or the beach,
time, but we also have little knickknacks here and there. We have one of the restaurants here bought a bunch of our products, our silicone coasters, which keep your drinks from spilling. You throw the coaster on the sand, so it keeps the sand off your drink. But you can use these at bars and restaurants. I carry mine with me all the time, and they're silicone coaster that keep the moisture inside, the condensation from leaking onto the table like the cardboard ones do.
Oh, that's good. Have you been to, being that you're living in the Keys now, have you been to Robbie's at Isla Mirada?
Oh, I've been to Robbie's many times. I used to take my kids there when they were little.
Yeah.
That's
you sell your line there?
That is a spot that we're looking into as well. Yes, that's a spot that we're most likely going to be into. Yeah,
that is a happening spot.
Yeah. First season is when we're looking to get into more places, because when it's not tourist season, it's not as busy. So now
is the best seller of your line still the Beach Bum Life towels with the zip?
Yes, that's our main product. That's our main focus, and the koozies. But our towels is our main focus. And like she said, it's a touch and feel. It's a touch and feel product. So we do more at the markets than we would do online, because people are touching it and feeling it. They're like, "Ooh, I love this." There's so many microfiber towels out there because it's made out of microfiber. But ours is, we were very selective on our material, and we have a very soft microfiber. And I get that from everybody also. "Oh, I like your microfiber. It's softer than the ones I bought." So it's a touch and feel, just like she said, it's a touch and feel product. And I highly recommend farmers markets for her product also, because it's an amazing experience to do the farmers markets, and I never really knew what you could do in the farmers markets. You can do so well in farmers markets. It's a tourist product. When it's a great way to promote yourself.
That's where you and I met at the farmers market Marathon Key.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. No, that was great. So Rebecca Estrella with the Beach Bum Life towels and accessories. What is your game plan for the start of the season now? Again, are you just focusing on Florida only, or are you going to go into other, like Texas or Alabama, or what are your plans there?
We would like to do that right now. Like I said, we really are. This is really the real test now. Being here, we would like to do that. In the future, we'd like to do that and travel, but it's only a couple of us, so it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So right now, I'll be working 5-6 days a week at a different market every day for like the next 6 months or so. So I'll be very busy.
Is your brother going to accompany you as well?
Once we go to, yes, he will eventually start coming here. He does all our online stuff. He handles our online ordering, our social media, our website. So he handles all that aspect right now. And then when we have shows, like I just text him, I'm like, "Oh, we have 2 shows in one day. I didn't realize that." So he'll come down to the Keys and do one of the shows. I'll do the other one, and he'll do other markets, in South Florida. So he's done a few other markets and stuff as well. But we do realize that it's mostly the tourist location is the best areas to go, not just a market somewhere. We do really well on the tourist locations.
Right. it's an impulse buy in a way, right?
But even all the locals love our products. I was on the water the other day and I saw someone on a boat with one of my towels. I'm like, oh, that's my towel for a beach bum. So it's kind of cool seeing it out there, So
well, and I was doing a little bit more research on your product, and also you and Ray, your brother, who is the co-founder. And I saw that you were featured in Shout Out Miami.
yes, yeah.
That was last year. And I was
Mhm.
reading the article, and I'm going to read something, and then I want to ask you about it. You were quoted as saying, creating beach bum life was not all that easy. There was so much more to creating a business name, logo, finding the right products, designing the artwork, marketing, legalities, documents, and then going full force to make it happen. So what was the hardest part of your journey, and what did you learn from it so far, Rebecca?
I think the hardest part was, we wanted this name Beach Bum. And there are so many companies out there that use the words beach bum. So we started with beach bum, and then we changed it to beach bum, and then we added the beach bum life because there's because to separate ourselves a little bit more, and added the word life. So there's a lot of that out there, but that's the name we really wanted. And
Right.
It's been a couple of years, almost like a year and a half, that we incorporated the name, or we trademarked the name, and it's still waiting to be approved. So we're just going at it. We're just going full force. We're doing what we got to do, but we still are waiting for the trademark to get approved. So that's another hard part of it. It's like, how much can we expand? How much can we do, and not overinvest if then we have to change the name a little bit, So it's hard to really go full force without our trademark being approved.
Wow, if you're not going full force, I'm wondering what your full force looks like, because it sounds to me like you are going full force. So.
We are going full force, but it's like I would love to have 1,000 of each of my towels made, but I can't do that. I gotta make sure everything's okay. So I order as we sell out. I've sold out several times of a lot of our towels. So that's been also amazing. And we started with 12 towel designs, and now we have 24. So during the season that's been slow season, we also added another 12 towel designs, and it's just it's still blossoming. It's slow season, but we're still doing really good, even if it's just one market right now. So
yeah, very good. Yeah. Well, I am so pleased that it's going well and that you're entering into the busy season, and I have every confidence in the world in you that you're going to sell out again and again. So
keep
thank you. Much success to you. And then I'm going to just ask Tracy Marcus of Tracy Marcus Designs with her swimsuit cover-up, luxury swimsuit cover-up. When you look back at the path that you were on, Tracy, which was 13 years of really development, now that you actually have the product and you're marketing it, what have you learned so far?
Oh gosh, you know what? I mean, every day is a new day. I mean, I am just learning something new every day. I am meeting new people that are really amazing, that are helping direct me to get this brand out and in front of the people that, it needs to be in front of. And I'm just loving it. So it's, the wonderful thing about it is that it's not work for me. And the other wonderful thing is that everybody that sees this collection loves it. So I feel so blessed in that regard. And I just want to share it,
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I think women that are able to feel it and touch it and actually try it on are just amazed. They feel so beautiful in it. And, that just makes me really happy.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, much success to you, Tracy Marcus.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And you, Rebecca Estrella. And thank you, ladies, for coming back on Richmond Business Space. Because I know big things are in your future for both of you. And I'm so happy to be part of it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Take care now.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Well, that wraps up endless summer, endless opportunities. Earlier, we talked to Jennifer Clements, owner of Pla-Mor Pools, And then just wrapping up with Tracy Marcus, founder and designer of Tracy Marcus Designs, luxury swimsuit cover-up, and Rebecca Estrella, co-founder along with her brother Ray of Beached Bum Life Towels and Accessories. And I am Lisa Linnell, thanking you for listening and thanking the remarkable Ron, my producer, for being here and doing a great job. And if you are a Richmond business babe, I just want to say thank you for listening. And here on the show, our goal is to empower entrepreneurs one woman at a time. Now you go get it.